React, it's been, well, pretty much king of the hill in web development for a long time now, right? Building those dynamic UIs we all work with.
Absolutely. A real powerhouse.
But what's happening now, I mean, in the whole React ecosystem, it feels like something bigger is shifting, like a fundamental change.
That's a good way to put it.
So today we're doing a deep dive. We want to cut through the noise, look at the latest trends, the real innovation shaping things for, let's say, 2025.
Yeah.
We've pulled together insights from, developer discussions, expert takes, direct comparisons, trying to find the really important stuff for you.
And what's really fascinating, I think, is how some very core parts of React are being rethought.
Yeah.
We're talking rendering, data management, fundamental things.
Exactly.
So our goal here is pretty clear. Let's figure out what's genuinely new and making an impact, understand why these shifts are happening, and hopefully give you the knowledge to navigate this evolving landscape.
Okay, let's start with the big one. React 19 came out late last year. It brought some pretty foundational changes.
Yeah, definitely.
We're talking about, first off, significant concurrent rendering enhancements. Which sounds technical, but think of it like a smarter task manager for your app.
Right. Prioritizing what the user sees.
Exactly. Keeping things feeling smooth, responsive, even when a lot is happening. Then there are server components. We'll definitely need to dig into those.
Oh, yeah.
And automatic error recovery, which sounds great, makes apps more resilient, handles unexpected problems gracefully.
Basically, yeah. Less crashing, more stable experiences.
And better TypeScript integration. Always good for reliability, catching errors early, makes code easier to maintain down the line.
For sure. That tight integration is key for larger projects.
Okay, so let's drill down on those server components, RSCs you call them. You said it's not just traditional server-side rendering.
Right, exactly. SSR, usually renders on the server, but then needs this hydration step on the client to become interactive.
Okay.
RSCs are different. They actually render the initial UI structure, the static parts, entirely on the server. Mm-hmm. And then they send really minimal JavaScript to the client. And crucially, often without needing that separate hydration step for the static content.
Ah, okay. So faster initial loads, less JavaScript to download and parse?
Precisely. It's a big move towards a leaner, faster initial experience for the user. Really slashes that JavaScript payload.
That makes sense. And this server-centric idea, it goes beyond just the first paint, right? You mentioned interactions, too.
Yeah, it's expanding. We're seeing React Server Actions, RSAs, emerge for handling things like, say, form submissions, mutations, basically.
Directly on the server.
Directly on the server, yeah. Reducing client-side logic for that stuff. And then there's this broader term, React Server Functions, RSFs, kind of covering both data fetching and mutations on the server side.
Interesting. So React is really pushing towards being more of a full-stack solution itself?
That seems to be the direction, yeah. Much more integrated vision.
And this whole shift, it's not happening in a vacuum. Frameworks are central here. Next.js, Remix. They're right at the front of this, aren't they?
Absolutely leading the charge. Next.js, especially with their app router, is all in on RSCs.
Right.
And it offers, incredible flexibility in how you render things. Static site generation, pre-building pages for speed, incremental static regeneration, updating static pages smartly, true hybrid approaches.
Okay, so Next.js is embracing RSCs with lots of rendering options. How does Remix compare in this picture?
Remix, it kind of champions a server-first approach right out of the box. It uses these concepts called loaders for fetching data before a component even renders.
Okay.
And actions for handling form submissions. And it does this neat thing where it automatically refreshes the UI after an action.
Smooth.
Yeah, very smooth. Plus, Remix really emphasizes using web standards, platform APIs, and it's often talked about in terms of edge-first deployment.
Running closer to the user, minimizing latency.
Exactly. So while Next.js might give you more explicit rendering modes, Remix offers this very consistent convention over configuration path, server-focused by default.
So it sounds like the React team itself is strongly encouraging using these kinds of frameworks now for performance, routing, all that built-in goodness.
That's definitely the message coming through. They argue frameworks provide better defaults, solve common problems efficiently.
There's always a but, isn't there? You mentioned some community pushback, concerns about this being too prescriptive.
That's the tension, yeah. Some developers worry it sidelines the original React philosophy. Yeah. Just a library, pick and choose your pieces.
Right, the flexibility.
Does this push towards opinionated frameworks dismiss the value of those lighter, client-side only setups? or maybe setups using different routers or data fetching solutions.
So what does this mean for you, the developer listening, if you maybe prefer that lighter touch?
It's a trade-off, isn't it? The frameworks offer undeniable power and convenience, especially with these new server features, but you might feel you lose some granular control. It really depends on the project's needs.
Makes sense. Okay, so frameworks are a huge part of the story. But beyond how we structure apps, the ecosystem itself is buzzing. State management, for instance.
Yeah, definitely movement there. We're seeing lightweight options like ZooStand and Jotai really gain traction. People looking for simpler APIs, maybe less boilerplate compared to, say, Redux for certain types of applications.
Simpler alternatives, got it. But things move fast. You mentioned something surprising about Recoil.js.
Yeah, this is a great example of the pace. Recoil was talked about, seemed promising, but it's actually been archived by Meta now.
Wow. Okay, so even tools that get buzz can disappear quickly. A good reminder to be mindful of the ecosystem's churn.
Absolutely. It highlights how dynamic things are.
What about performance?
Yeah.
Beyond frameworks, is React itself getting faster? I hear about the React compiler.
Right, the compiler. It's in beta, and the big idea is automating memoization. Getting rid of the need for manual use callback, use memo in many cases.
So making it easier to get good performance.
Exactly. Easier to avoid common performance pitfalls. But there's still a debate. Does this make React fundamentally faster than, say, signal-based frameworks like Solid.js?
Ah, the virtual DOM question.
Yeah. Does React's way of updating the browser still have some overhead compared to more direct approaches? It's complex, but honestly, at the end of the day,
it's the application's performance that matters to the user, not just the raw framework speed.
Precisely. Optimization is still crucial, compiler or not.
And we can't talk about developer tools without mentioning AI, right? Things like GitHub Copilot.
Oh, huge impact. Speeding up boilerplate, suggesting code, even helping with complex logic. It's really changing the day-to-day coding workflow for many.
And, importantly, accessibility. Libraries like React ARI making it easier to build inclusive UIs. That's got to be a non-negotiable trend.
Absolutely critical. Building for everyone is essential.
So connecting all these threads, advancements, frameworks pushing towards full stack.
Yeah.
What about security? Does this introduce new concerns?
It definitely keeps security front and center. React apps always face threats like cross-site scripting, XSS.
Right.
But when you bring in more server-side rendering and actions, you have to be extra careful. Sanitizing untrusted HTML, being cautious about how you handle URIs passed from the client, these become even more critical.
So more power, more responsibility on the server side too.
You got it. Security needs to evolve alongside the architecture.
Okay, wrapping up then. The React ecosystem in 2025. It feels really dynamic. You've got these powerful new core features like server components, this strong push towards frameworks, but also ongoing debates about performance, developer choice.
It's definitely an exciting and maybe slightly turbulent time to be a React developer. Lots of innovation, lots to learn.
Which leads us to a final thought for you to ponder.
As React keeps moving towards this full stack powerhouse model, how do you, as a developer, strike that balance?
Yeah.
How do you weigh the efficiency and power of these new frameworks and paradigms against the flexibility, the granular control that maybe drew you to React in the first place? Something to think about.